I'm John, and this lesson is sponsored by me. I work for myself, not a company. I'm a professional English teacher, and I invite you to come take a lesson with me on italki. Your discount link is in the description. In this lesson, we're going to read a news article together, and we're going to learn some important phrasal verbs and vocabulary words. They're going to be a little more advanced. But remember, advanced vocabulary is just infrequent vocabulary. After each section, I'm going to break down and explain each vocabulary term to you so you can develop a deeper understanding of how English works. Let's start. Troubles with tourism. Tourism to the US has taken a hit recently, especially from Europe. We use the verb take with the word hit. Take in this case means receive, and take a hit means receive or take damage. And in this case, it's a loss in tourism. According to a travel analyst, several factors are driving down interest. In this case, driving is not with a car. Driving in this case means forcing, driving down interest, forcing down interest, interest in tourism, of course, lowering interest in tourism. One factor is political. The current administration's tough stance on immigration has put off some travelers and made them feel unwelcome. The phrasal verb put off can mean delay. For example, I'm putting my video off for another day. I'm delaying my video. But phrasal verbs can have different meanings. In this case, put off means cause someone to lose interest. The travelers have been put off by the stance or position on immigration. At the same time, seasonal shifts like Easter falling on a later date this year rather than March have thrown off typical travel patterns. To say something is on a specific date or day, we say it falls on a specific day. This is very common for holidays, especially ones that change. Easter changes every year. It's on a different day. It falls on a specific day. The phrasal verb throw off means disrupt or confuse someone or something. The word off in this case means something is unstable. It's not on the ground. It's not stable. You throw it off balance. We can use off like this for people in some contexts. For example, it's common to say, there's something off about that guy. He's a little strange. He's not stable. Here we have the same type of idea. The travel patterns are off. They're not stable. They're unusual. There have been multiple reports of foreign visitors being held up at the border or called in for extra questioning. Visitors are being held up at the border means visitors are being delayed at the border. For example, sorry I'm late to the lesson. I was held up by traffic. Traffic held me up. That's why I'm late. I was delayed. I was held up. The visitors are called in for extra questioning. Called in to where? Called into a very official place, perhaps an office. Called into that office by authorities. Asked into the office officially for extra questioning. We understand called in this situation because we know that the context is security at the airport. We must use context when thinking about vocabulary in English. Some companies are even advising employees to travel with burner phones and laptops, precautions normally used for trips to countries like China or Russia. A burner phone is a phone that you can throw away after you use it. This is common in movies with spies, for example. They buy the phone, use it once, and throw it away. This is to avoid detection. It's a burner phone. Families, in particular, are worried about possible delays or being turned away at the airport, which could put children in difficult situations. One common phrasal verb that we use is turn around. This is usually a 180-degree motion. You turn around, you face the opposite direction. And if you go away, you go far. You go out of sight to a place we can't see you. So if we combine these concepts, someone is turned away. They're forced away in the other direction. In this context, they enter the airport, but they can't actually enter the country. They're turned away by officials in the opposite direction back to their country or some other location. Despite a favorable exchange rate, with the euro stronger than last year, the US is missing out on tourism. A common concept in English is called FOMO. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. If we miss out on something, we lose the opportunity to get that thing. This is very common with teenagers and social media. Teenagers see things on social media and they develop a fear of missing that thing, of losing or missing that opportunity. Here in the article, America is missing out on tourism. America is losing the opportunity for more tourism because people are not going there. They're not visiting. Travelers are opting for destinations with fewer entry hassles. The drop off in visa applications and airline bookings is a clear sign. The word opt is a verb, it's an action. It's related to the word option. When you opt for something, you choose that option. They're opting for or choosing destinations with fewer entry hassles. A hassle is a problem. Sometimes it's a lot of effort to make these videos. It's such a hassle. Just kidding. I enjoy making video lessons for you guys. But if it's a hassle, it's irritating. It's an inconvenience. It's a difficult situation with some annoying problems. It's such a hassle to enter the US. You need a visa, you need to pay, you need so many things. And that's why there's a drop off in visitors and visa applications. If you drop, you fall. Off, remember, means instability, something unstable. So if there's a drop off, it's a sudden decrease. Even big upcoming events like the World Cup and the Olympics may fall short of expected turnout if these concerns aren't sorted out. A turnout is the number or amount of people who attend an event. For example, recently there was a huge concert in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. It was Lady Gaga, and the turnout was incredible. It was over 2 million people. The word fall is something negative. Short is not at the same level. So when you have expectations for something like the World Cup or the Olympics, and something falls short of those expectations, it's not at the same level. It's lower than expected. If the concerns or the worries aren't sorted out, if they're not worked out, if they're not figured out, all of these phrasal verbs, sort out, work out, and figure out, are used to solve problems. In this case, we're sorting out the concerns, the worries, the problems with tourism. The travel industry fears lasting damage. International visitors often stick around longer and shell out more money than domestic travelers. The travel industry is scared of lasting damage, damage that will last for a long time. To help you understand the phrasal verb stick around, I asked artificial intelligence to create a video of sticks in the desert. These sticks are stuck, like when you're stuck in traffic. They're not moving, they can't go anywhere. So if you stick around, you stay, you hang out, or you hang around a place. You don't leave. Channel members recently had a quiz about phrasal verbs for money, and shell out was one of those phrasal verbs. If you shell out money, you spend a lot of it. If the US continues to come off as unwelcoming, other countries are ready to pick up the slack and attract those tourists instead. America continues to seem unwelcoming due to this situation, Trump's rhetoric, and the things that are happening. My country comes off as, or seems, unwelcoming. It appears unwelcoming. But other countries are waiting to welcome those tourists. They're waiting to do work that others won't do. They're waiting to provide something that's missing. They're picking up the slack. This is a common expression to use when someone is being lazy at work. Come on, work harder. Pick up the slack. Do your work. Now, to get a better understanding of these vocabulary words, let's look at some examples. Examples: take a hit. His reputation took a hit after the scandal. Tourism has taken a hit due to new regulations. Drive down. The prices were driven down by competition. The bad reviews drove down sales. Put off. Many tourists are put off by long visa processes. She was put off by his rude behavior. Throw off. The flight delay threw off our entire schedule. A surprise snowstorm threw off their travel plans. Hold up. Traffic held us up for an hour. The interview was held up due to technical issues. Call in. She was called in for an urgent meeting. They called in extra help for the event. Turn away. They turned away visitors without proper ID. She was turned away at the concert gate. Miss out on. We missed out on early bird tickets. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Opt for. They opted for the cheaper hotel. We opted for the direct flight. Hassle. Getting a visa can be a hassle. Returning the product was a major hassle. Drop off. There was a sharp drop off in attendance. The drop off in sales worried investors. Fall short of. The campaign fell short of its fundraising goal. The movie fell short of expectations. Sort out. We need to sort out our travel plans. They sorted out their differences quickly. Stick around. Let's stick around until the event ends. She stuck around after the meeting. Shell out. They shelled out thousands on the vacation. Don't shell out too much on souvenirs. Come off as. He came off as rude, but he's actually shy. The ad campaign came off as insensitive. Pick up the slack. When Tom left, Sarah picked up the slack. The team picked up the slack during his absence. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to learn more phrasal verbs, consider joining the channel and becoming an English fan. Thank you so much to channel subscribers, channel members, and private students. And see you in the next lesson.